All right, welcome back, everybody, with another episode on the 44 Pod with your host, Mr. Hollywood himself, and my co host, Mr. Hernia. Man, we're back with another
Yeah.
episode. You know what I'm saying? I think this one's a bittersweet one just because,
Um,
uh, Super Bowl happened last weekend. Not much going on as far as not able to talk about games or whatnot. But as you know, for our football fanatic fans that listen to our pod just for football, um, the offseason is probably more crazy than the regular season as far as like players and teams doing some weird stuff and teams signing free agents that you thought they were going to go to your team if you like any free agents out there. As we did a pod like a month ago, I would say now that like a lot of available
Probably a
free
little bit over
agents.
that, to be honest. But yeah,
Yeah, a lot of good free agents. And that's one thing that I really wanted to get into today with the pod is just like, you know, older free agents. Like, would you, if you're a team, would you rather invest into um younger wide receivers, or would you rather sign an older veteran wide receiver?
mm,
So that's one of the topics on the pod today. But before we get into that, Hearn, hey, like always, I always gotta check up on you, man. Like, how you doing, bro?
dude, I'm fucking great. Um,
Okay.
something a goal I gave myself this year was uh, I'm gonna try to run a mile every day, and
Oh
so
yeah.
far so far not gonna like lie and be like, oh, I did it every day. Clearly I have not done it every day, but
Hmm.
I've done a pretty good job so far. I've been like 3 to 4 times a week, so which I think is a huge accomplishment on my part because I think if you'd
That
asked me
is
about a year or two ago, I would have told you to fuck yourself. So, um, and
a
it
year or
also
two. I would have
helps.
said like 5 years ago, bro. I think
Yeah, I
last time
mean,
last time I okay, I'm not trying to talk shit,
shit.
on your
Nah, go
grind or
ahead.
whatever,
Nah, talk your
but
shit.
I think the last time I think I kind of got you, it took a while to get you in the gym, was like fucking, I was in
I think it
college
was,
still, or a little before, or a little after. Either I
bro.
had
Honestly,
graduated
I was say
or,
honestly, I think it was like 2018, bro.
yeah,
Like it
okay,
was a long
2018.
time ago. No, like dead
Yeah,
ass. Like it was a long time ago for sure.
that was the last
Yeah,
time I kind of got you, you know, um, I wouldn't say in shape, but I would say it got you in the mindset
just
like,
doing
hey, like,
something. Yeah,
yeah,
just literally doing something. Yeah, and so yeah, that was like a goal, just a self goal of mine was like, hey, like let's start like actually doing something in the sense like, there'd be sometimes I practice like, and it wasn't like not too much this year because I didn't have to. It wasn't my group that I was coaching, but like at the year before, like we'd be going into our positions, like our groups, and like for people that don't know, like typically on a football field, like you'll break out into positions. So like I was coaching the linemen, and like I'll it's like a tradition. It's kind of a thing. Like linemen always get the end zone. Well, we start practice middle of the field, so now I'm not gonna walk. So like I would jog over, and I'd be like fucking dog shit tired. Like by the end of practice, I'm like, yeah, it's gotta like stop. So like last year, I kind of like near the end of the year, I started kind of doing it. And then I just kind of told myself like, yo, like let's make this consistent, like so that way we're not out of breath at practice because that shit's embarrassing. So yeah, so start doing that, and then I actually have a class for school too that it's literally that. So that also
that's
kind
good,
of
man.
keeps me accountable. But yeah, I mean school's been pretty good actually. And then I'm going to Vegas this next week, so I'm pumped for that. We'll have
Hell
to
yeah,
figure
man.
out when we're gonna do our pod, but um,
Hey, man, the Vegas pod is always a good pod. See what Hearn will
yeah.
be doing out there.
It is a business trip Friday and Saturday, so it's not too crazy. Well, Saturday night I'll probably have a little fun, and then Thursday when I get there I'll have some fun for sure. But uh, definitely a little bit of a business trip for football. But yeah, I think everything's been pretty well so far. Off season's looking good for the boys, so
So
I'm looking
sorry,
forward to it.
I don't mean to cut you. I'm not trying to do anything weird. It's just that my wife is telling me that somebody's on my fucking porch doing some shit. So I'm trying to look over down to see who the fuck that is, because obviously it's kind of weird.
Looks, looks like a
So
moose.
yeah, so I'm trying to see who's out there trying to do some weird shit. So give me a second. Sorry,
Oh
Pa.
hell yeah! Let's carry the
Um,
fucking boats, baby.
yeah, you never know, man. I might have to pull a Glock on that
You
ass.
can put the on them.
Oh shit. Mm, damn.
Hey, see how they are, man? Like these Alaska motherfuckers different, bro. Like some Girl Scouts come to the door and they're talking about fucking pooping that the pop pop. It's kind of crazy over there, man.
Oh shit. Okay, I see. I see who it is.
Fucking Amazon, crazy.
No, so it's the HOA. Like people
Uh,
that they
he's
the
cooked.
contractors they do to clean shit. So
Yeah,
um obviously I live in Alaska, so where it fucking snows, it's currently snowing pretty bad right now. So our doorsteps get pretty intense. So contractors are currently sweeping um my porch.
see this.
So shout out to
That's some
them. Um
that's some WPS shit right there, boy. I tell you what.
think so.
Yeah, but it's all
But
good. That's
but
hey, you
anyways,
earned it.
hey, like I said, I don't mean to fucking shine away of all the stuff you're doing, Herno. But
Nah, it's
I just want to say really proud of you for getting self motivated. Um,
yeah, gotta be.
like I said, anybody that knows Hearn, me and Matt, we're big. I wouldn't say big gym guys, but we are someone that cares about our health and
Jim
um,
Bro-ish for sure.
yeah, just kind of I'll say Matt more than I am. I just do it because I have to stay fit for
Yeah,
my
well,
job, but Matt
especially
just does
now.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah, so we've been trying to get her to go to the gym, take care of himself, and just to live a healthier lifestyle in that sense. And hearing you say that you're going on your own and you have a goal, I'm sure you have a goal weight that you want to reach, and you have
yeah,
these certain things
four
that.
hundred.
Okay, you full of shit, motherfucker. But yeah. Anyways, I'm just we're it makes me happy that you're fucking you're out there getting in. I seen the video of you and that you sent in the group chat. I didn't know if that's what you were doing, but you and Max running a cool little mile. And hey man, I would say that's a big W. I think a lot of the people that listen to us know that that's a really big step for you. Because I know every time we would be like, Hearn, you need to watch out what you're eating, fucking hit the gym or something. He'd be like, nah, I'm not in the fucking
Fuck
mood or
them,
whatever.
fuck
Yeah,
them.
it was fuck him every time.
That's usually fuck
Yeah.
you or fuck them every time. But no, it's yeah, it's just like I don't know. It's not even like I don't even know. It's not even. I don't even see it as like it's helping myself. Obviously, it is, but like I don't know. I just like I don't know. I don't even know how to explain it. But hey, fuck them. Um, what you been up to this week, big dog? Arc Raiders.
Um.
Hey, by the way, I'm gonna put it in the description. My this guy, this fucking Frijole, loves to stream on Twitch. He has a gaming, little thing he does. You
Yeah.
guys got to check him out. It does every once in a while. It does get a little glitchy, and you can't really see anything, and it skips over. But yeah, my guy streams on Twitch. He was just playing Arc Raiders the last couple days. I'm sure.
Dude, Ark,
Uh,
man, I'm fucking honest. Anybody that's fucking wants to play Ark, dude, let's run it, dude. I'm fucking about the raids, baby. Yeah, I don't know. My internet situation was kind of weird, so I had to like upgrade it.
mm,
So hopefully that fixed a little bit. I did
yeah,
reset everything, so yeah, we get
it's
back on it, you know what I'm saying?
it's really weird though, cause like you're the I don't even know how to explain it. Like your FPS was everything was clear. It just hopped around, and then like previously where you were at before when you streamed, it obviously was like smooth, but it didn't look as clear. I don't know if that makes sense, but like
Hmm.
yeah, I just something I noticed. But
Okay, I appreciate that. But yeah, man,
yeah,
like
yeah,
I
yeah,
said, anybody trying to play Arc Raiders, let me know.
yeah, hit him
Um,
up. Just working.
Besides that, yeah, just this week wasn't too bad. Just work was barely any work this week, which I'm thankful for.
Yeah,
Really just me and my wife. We spent Valentine's Day. Oh, another big thing, guys. Today is Valentine's Day, the 14th February.
yeah.
But
Happy Valentine's.
yeah, happy Valentine's to everybody, that every couple, every person that
Yeah,
if you have a Valentine's or you don't, hey man, you come listen to 44 Pod. We give you love all day,
yeah,
baby.
absolutely, 100%, 100%.
But yeah, me and my wife just celebrated Valentine's Day yesterday. Just
Oh, dope.
because we rather not want to say stay away. We rather just skip the lines of all these couples, and trying to book a restaurant is like fucking almost impossible on Valentine's Day.
Especially up
And
there, I'm sure it's like the hours are probably crazy too, right? Like everything's
yeah,
probably not
well,
open as long.
So I try to book a Valentine's dinner, like, at a restaurant. The restaurant
Yeah.
I took my wife to, 2 weeks ago, and it was booked out already, and I'm like, "Fuck it." Like, I told her, I'm like, "Hey," like she was actually the one like, "Hey, let's do it on Friday." So I was like, "Okay, fine." So, we did it yesterday. I got the restaurant that I wanted, so, she enjoyed
There you go.
dinner, we had a good time.
Hell
Drank a
yeah.
little wine. Um,
Yeah.
let me tell you, like, if you got people that don't know, again, I'm not really drinking that much, so when I drank wine yesterday, I had the biggest headache. Um, my wife actually passed out because she's also not really drinking. She came home, passed out on the couch, and I was like,
Tough.
"Oh, okay." Had to give her a baba and put her in bed.
Tough.
And I stayed up all night last night, fucking just playing art, trying to get my shit. You know what I'm saying? Blueprints all day.
Hmm.
But getting cleaning the house today. Get my nieces are coming finally. They come tonight. They arrive around like 8-ish o'clock. So I'll be with them all
Let's
week.
go.
So I was super excited to finally get them in
Hell
Alaska
yeah.
and take them out to the snow and do some cool stuff and show my moose. Not too close, but show them my moose, you know?
Yeah. Hell yeah.
But other than that, that's pretty much it, man. I haven't done really anything crazy. Just do my thing, bro. Just do my thing.
Yeah, you're gonna have your plate full for the next week or so, so that's good.
Yeah. But hey, that's enough about us, you know. Let's get
Yeah.
to why most of y'all are here, and that's to hear football. And again, I did want to bring all right, let's talk about the Super Bowl
Let's do it.
before we really get into it. I'll start with this. Was it did it undersell? Did it meet what you thought it was gonna be, or was it past what you thought it'd be?
Well, on the last pod, I talked about would this be the best playoff game of the season? And I think we both said no. And I think we both agreed that the NFC Championship game was by far the best game. Just the Rams Seahawks game blew it out of the water. And I think honestly, a couple of the games were way better than the game we got. Um, and it kind of just showed kind of two different teams, like, and two different philosophies. Like right now, like to me, the Patriots are just super young, and I kind of mentioned that when we were picking the title game winners, and I said
Hmm.
it was a year early. Like they're just really inexperienced, and it really showed. Like their whole left side of the offensive line got fucking destroyed all night, and they were both rookies. The QB, he's a 1 year starter. Like he's only been in the league for a year. This is his second season. And he played like shit pretty much all playoff long. The only reason why
Yeah.
no one talked about it is because the teams he played, their quarterbacks were fucking way worse, right? Like the
Yeah.
Texans game, CJ Stroud turned it over almost 7 times, so no one was gonna bring up how bad Drake May played. The fucking Bronco game, Bo Nix broke his ankle the week before, so everyone was talking about Stidham, and he played like shit. So I think that kind of was under. No one talked about that. Basically, just kind of ignored it, like as if it's not real. Um, and I thought the Seahawks. I mean, I was telling some of our coaches like, if the Seahawks had Charbonnet in the Super Bowl, it would have been a fucking blowout. It would have probably been like a 50 to like whatever, however many points the Patriots scored. I think it would have
Yeah.
been a slaughter. Because I just thought the recipe that the Seahawks had, um, just overmatched what the Patriots were able to do offensively. Um, in terms, I don't really think the Super Bowl was hyped up either. I think there was so much focus about the halftime show, and obviously we'll kind of just talk about that briefly too. But I don't really feel like it was a very hyped up Super Bowl compared to years past, like the Niners Chiefs, even last year's Eagles Chiefs, even the Rams Bengals. I feel like some of those Super Bowls were a little bit more hyped up in terms
Yeah.
of the what's the word? Not expectation, but like the anticipation. That's what I was looking for. In terms of the anticipation of the Super Bowl and all that stuff. So I would say it kind of was what I thought it was going to be. I do wish it would have been a little bit closer of a score because obviously I love good football, but um, yeah, kind of was what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, I'm glad that you mentioned the NFC Championship games. I think by far the NFC Championship games were probably the best football we got towards the very end. I think it was those games are way better than the Super Bowl. I also believe that if Bo Nix never got hurt and he played against the Patriots, I think the Broncos win easily. I think they win that game. And I also think they win the Super Bowl. And I say that just because Bo Nix, he just looks super comfortable in that offense that Sean Payton has given him. And that defense, then the boys are dogs just as good as the Seattle. I think, if not, probably better than Seattle. I think they go blow for blow, but I think they would have exposed Sam Darnold a little bit more because obviously during the Super Bowl, um, he was making some pretty sketchy throws, and I think that if he was playing against the Broncos defense, I think they would have capitalized on those small mistakes that Sam Darnold did make during the Super Bowl. And I think Bo Nix would have stayed in that pocket. He would have managed to win the game, whatever it took. But yeah, I also agree in the fact that I think the Patriots are a year too early that they made it to the Super Bowl, and it did show. Drake May looks super uncomfortable in the pocket. He looked erratic as far when he was throwing the ball. He had plenty of chances to make some plays. He was just, again, he was not comfortable. He felt like he had to do more than what he had to. And ultimately, obviously, he made some mistakes, and Seattle capitalized on those mistakes. I mean, it was very boring. I'm not gonna lie to you. Obviously we said it, and I also said it was like, hey, Seattle's gonna win, just based off the fact that like they're a better team, and Drake May was not ready. But for the most part, I would say even into like the fourth quarter, Drake May had an opportunity to win, at least like tie the game or get close to like, hey, like if he had the ball, they could have won it. But I think that like where it really sealed the deal was, I think it was like a third and something when he threw the ball down the field. It was like 3 minutes left to go in the ball game, and he threw a pick, and that pretty much just sealed the game. And at that point, if you were still watching, because it was, again, it was a very lackluster game, and like you said, it was very, the hype behind it, like there, I don't think, like you said, like I also agree, like there was no hype behind the Super Bowl, um, at all. I like a lot of stuff that I've seen on social media, and then some like people that I have here at work, like no one was really talking about it. It was just like, oh, Super Bowls happened this weekend. Um, it's whatever. Besides, the only thing I think anybody was talking about was the halftime show. Other than that, it was like, oh, it's a Super Bowl. Um, Seattle and Patriots. That's pretty much what I felt like. But yeah, I would say that Super Bowl was kind of ass. I'm not gonna lie, that shit was just boring.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it just didn't live up, and I think like you look at like the Seahawks, everyone's like, I feel like in most Super Bowls when you going in, each team has something that they're really good at. Like there's an elite side of the ball. Like in the years past, like the Niners when they're going into the Super Bowl, fuck that defense is awesome. And then like the Chiefs, man, the offense is a full unit. Like they're a complete unit, so that's going to be a good matchup. And I feel like the Super Bowl like just didn't have that. Like the Seahawks offense to the Patriots D, it's like okay, it's above average. Like it's good, but it's not like two elite teams, right? And then like vice versa, like the Seahawks um defense against the Patriots offense, like it's an the Seahawks perspective, the defense is an elite group. Like yeah, like they're gonna be fucking legit. But like the Pats offense just isn't at that same talent level, so just it's just a
Yeah,
mismatch. Um, and
Diggs
speaking of
barely got the ball. Like, come on, like that's all you have to say. Like your number one
yeah,
wideout didn't get the ball like as much as he should have. Like I would say he should
yeah,
have got the ball 95% of the time, and he only got what, like 3 looks, probably
something
less
like
than
that,
that.
yeah.
But yeah, that's all you need to know about the Super Bowl. Like, what are we talking about?
Yeah, I do have like a slight gripe with the Super Bowl. And obviously you're gonna think I'm trolling. I'm not. And I kind of mentioned it in our group chat. So obviously before the game, this is NBC, it's all good. And before the game, like they have a panel, right, of just people talking about the pregame. I got Fred Warner on there. I love Fred. Nothing against Fred. And they
Yeah,
have the some would say he got robbed of Coach of the Year,
Co-
Kyle
coach.
Shanahan.
Yeah,
Now
yeah.
this guy goes on there and he talks and they're asking him like, "Oh, how do you go about attacking the Seahawks defense?"
Oh
and he's
yeah, I did hear
explaining
about
how
that.
you attack the Seahawks defense. Brother, you got fucking blown out twice in like in the span of like 3 weeks, dude. Like you got to know your lane, dog. Be like, like I didn't really have the answers, but like here's what I would do if I got to face him again. Like he could have been like that, but he just kind of like went on it like as if he had the recipe. Um, so yeah, it was like my little gripe with Kyle. But yeah, fuck Kyle.
Honestly, I think I heard different. When I heard that interview, he did say that he's like, yeah, last time we played these guys, we couldn't score on them.
Yeah, no shit.
That's what obviously that's what he said. I didn't really like again. Also, I didn't really listen to all that stuff. I didn't really watch all the pre-shows. I wasn't really watching all that. I just saw that clip. So I mean, if he said more like you're saying, then I mean, I can't really back him up on that.
Well, like
Um,
he literally went through, like it's like any other pregame that you watch, and they're going through like a couple of hand selected plays on like what they would do with, like, you know what I mean? Like they're showing like, oh, this is what they do, like here's how I would attack it, and that's basically what he did, right? Like he went into it like he said like, oh, if I faced him again, this is what I would do, and it's like, dude, like you played him 3 times this year, like, and you didn't have the answer the last 2 times. Like, it's kind of, like, just, it's not that he doesn't know his shit. Obviously, he does. He's in the NFL, but it's just one of those things. It's hard for me to like believe what he's saying when he got his ass whipped 3 weeks ago. So, um,
yeah, no, I totally understand that. I mean,
but
I get it.
and I didn't like. I'm sure they gave him a little bag, like, hey man, come on NBC, like, get you like we'll get you clean shaven, dye your hair, like we'll make you look fucking like $1 million. And throw you a little bag. And obviously, the Super Bowl was at Levi too, so I think that's also part of it. Like they're like, hey, like he's probably around. Like let's just see if we can get him. So I think that also played into it too. Um, but yeah, I think if you rank the Super Bowl, it'd probably be near the bottom of any list. Like if you
And
said the last 10 years and you rank the Super Bowls, this one would probably be like 8, 9, 10, somewhere in that range. So
yeah,
um,
and I like it's yeah, okay. Sorry, I don't know what the fuck I was trying to say. And it sucks because Seattle's defense is so elite right now.
yeah,
And like it's like we're not even trying to throw shade like hey like it's nothing against Seattle. I think it all had to do just with the Patriots. And if I had to put my
yeah.
finger on it, like if I was pointing at a reason why the Super Bowl wasn't hyped, I'm literally just talking about the Patriots. It has nothing to do with
You
Seattle.
know what I was
Like go
thinking
on.
is like, remember when the Seahawks won their first Super Bowl and like it was a
Yeah.
blowout of the Broncos? It's like the same thing.
Yeah, nobody talks about it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, I think every the Super Bowl that people wanted to see, again, the teams. Talking specifically just NFC Championship games. Obviously, you got the Seattle and you got your Rams, Patriots, and Broncos. Out of those two teams that played each other, right? I would say people probably wanted Seattle versus the Broncos, just because okay. I'm speaking for myself now. Um, just based off because the defenses were so good and Bo Nix looked so good all season and the whole team in general, I feel like that was a full complete team. And Seattle and the Rams, I would say they were neck and neck of teams that people wanted to see. Like they wouldn't be upset if Seattle won and they wouldn't be upset if the Rams won. But in the Super Bowl, like between those two teams, I think or three teams, sorry, excluding the Patriots, I think that would have been a way better Super Bowl, and I think it would have been way more hyped, and a lot more people would be talking about that. So again, nothing against Seattle. It's just it all has to do with the Patriots that made that Super Bowl kind of like, that shit was whack.
I think I blame Josh Allen. It's fully Josh Allen's fault. So
Yeah, and also Josh Allen, he fucking.
he choked. This is his year. This is literally his year. He choked. So
I just don't think he's gonna ever win it. I don't think he's ever gonna go, bro. I just at this point, I just don't think so.
I mean, he's damn near in the same situation as Lamar. It's crazy.
Hey man, you brought him up. I didn't.
I just said they're
um,
almost in the same situation. Is all I said. So
Yeah, I mean, Lamar is a whole different situation as far as like what he needs to do to get there. Um, but
yeah,
yeah, before we get into all that sort of stuff too, because I just want to hit on everything as well. Um, Any last comments about the Super Bowl and the teams?
No, not really.
Good, because I don't really have any much more to say about that either. What I do want to bring up though, again, is something I said in the beginning of the podcast because I've seen a lot of stuff, right? Like as Niner fans, it's like all these people are like, um, hey, like, do you want these guys back? Like, you have an opportunity. And I was talking about Debo Samuel, right? Because the Commanders voided his contract, or not. Well, is it voided, or I would say they kind of just didn't let like pay for it or whatever the fuck, whatever the NFL terms are. They pretty much are not bringing them back next year, as of yesterday. And a lot of Niner fans I've seen on these social medias like, hey, would you guys like to have Debo Samuel back? Like all these guys are like, fuck yeah, let's bring him back. And that brings me to my question. As a team and as a Raider, like a Raider fan, um, would you want old teammates, sorry, fuck, I can't talk for some reason, to come back when you could sign somebody else and a younger guy and like build them up, or would you get a more proven veteran or somebody else? Like, what would your approach be? Because I know what I would want, but I'm gonna let you go first.
If I was a NFL GM, number one, all the boys are getting jobs. That'd be the first thing. But besides that, right? Like, um, besides that, my philosophy, like in terms of like as a team builder, would be like we're gonna we're gonna sign guys like off the street in terms of free agency on one value, current value, and then two future value. And to me, like some of these guys, like for example, Alec Pierce, he's probably one of the top receivers that's going to be available because Pickens just got franchise tagged yesterday or earlier
Hmm.
in the week. He's probably going to be one of the top receivers available in free agency. He plays for the Colts. And I've
Yeah.
seen some deals, like I've seen some projected contracts. I think one of them was like 4 years, 85 million. I wouldn't give it to him. Not that like he hasn't earned it, um, but like on guys that are on in systems where they're not real, they're getting production, but it's not really because they're Jamar Chase or some of these elite guys in the NFL. Like I'd be really hesitant to give guys like that 20+ million dollars. So like if you gave me the option of that with that contract or Debo for like 8 million, I take Debo for 8 million. I obviously know that's not going to be the contract he gets. Um, but I'd be based on value. So like to me, if you can get more, if you can get five players for 25 million, or it have to be more. Let's say five players for 100 million versus three players for 100 million. I'd probably take the five. But that's just me. So, but to get it back to the original question, I just think it's all about the situation. Like to me, the Niners, they look slow. So to me, adding Debo doesn't solve that problem. So
Yeah.
for your guys' particular situation, I would say no. Now for the Raiders, I would say yes. Just because like they need an infusion of talent. Um, and I guess the only negative, like for we'll use Debo in this situation, like the only negative for the Raiders adding Debo is there is a chance um he 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 poisons the well of young receivers that they have right now in terms of the off field stuff and kind of like the attitude stuff that he had with in San Francisco. In terms of like not being happy and like just kind of like some of the bullshit that like you would hear storyline wise with him. And that's something that I'd be kind of like hesitant about. But if you have the locker room to like to have it, then go for it. But yeah, like for the Niners, there I would go for the younger guy for sure.
Yeah, I agree. Again, I only bring this up because um there's just a bunch of like Niner fans are like, dude, bring Debo back, bring all these old guys back, like
I mean,
Kyle
for the right
Juszczyk.
price, like if Debo comes back for the let's say for 12 mil, and let's say you're gonna cut Ayuk, like I would take that deal, right? Because obviously Ayuk's gone no matter what, right? But um, like if it's the right price, I think bringing Debo back wouldn't hurt you too much. But like if he's trying to get fucking 20 million, then yeah, no, that's not happening.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's all situational based is another thing too. Like I think that's a really important factor in bringing guys back. But I think if teams were gonna bring guys back, like, at the price that these players want, and like you said, I don't think DBO wants to get anything less than, um,
Like
20
15
mil.
probably. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say 15 mil for, like, 2 years or a year contract, like, I think that's somewhat negotiable, especially in incentives and
Yeah.
stuff like that and bonuses. So in
Mm,
that aspect, I would want Debo back, but like if he's like, yo, I want like a 3-year contract, 2-year contract, and I want to get paid 25 mil, I'm like, dude, you're fucking tripping. You're
yeah.
nowhere near 2019, 2020 version of yourself. So yeah. And the same thing with again a lot of the there's a lot of free agent Niners that are hitting the market like Jawan Jennings. I do like Jawan. I again, he's just he's just a consistent wide receiver that like hey they call him third and Jawan for a reason because every third down you're throwing it to him. So in that aspect he was consistent. The only thing I don't like about him he's also pretty slow. Um, getting space away from corners or whatever it's pretty hard. And I also agree with you in the fact that the Niners need to get faster. I think that's something I
Yep.
did mention a couple pods ago is like these guys just look fucking slow. And
Yeah.
that's just the lackluster in the fact that like Ricky Pearsall was supposed to be that guy. He got injured. Brandon Ayuk didn't play. So like the Niners did have these guys. It's just circumstances,
I'm just not
unfortunately.
seeing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it sucks, but it is what it is, right? You just got to keep evolving. That's why coaches win and coaches lose and lose their
Yep.
job. Um, but yeah, so this is gonna kind of pivot into free agents that I would say that are pretty notable. You did mention George Pickens, but he got franchise tagged I
Yep.
think 2 days ago, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna go through the list here, and you tell me which ones kind of stand out to you.
Mm-hmm.
An unrestricted free agent, Romeo Dobbs from the Green Bay Packers is one. Uh, Mike Evans from Tampa, Juwan Jennings, Christian Kirk, Alec Pierce, you mentioned, and Wan'Dale Robinson from the New York Giants, and Debo Samuel, Rashid Shaheed from Seattle. I think he might come back to Seattle, um, but I don't think so, to be honest with you. Uh, Tyquan Thornton from Kansas City. So those are notable free agents that are at the hitting the market. But these are the next ones I'm going to list are cut candidates that are almost like 99% sure that these guys are going to get cut from the team. And the first one is Brandon Ayuk. Um, Tyreek Hill, I think that one's like a 90% sure that he's going to get cut. Maybe 80, just depending on whatever. Calvin Ridley from the Tennessee Titans. AJ Brown from Philly. I think that one AJ from Philly, I think that one is a 50-50. I think you just talk them into like getting on the game plan or whatever. We'll see what happens. Another one is Keon Coleman from the Buffalo Bills. Um, I don't know. That one's still iffy to me. Quentin Johnson from the Los Angeles Chargers. I think he resigns. Um, Xavier Legette from the Carolina Panthers, DJ Moore from the Chicago Bears, Brian Thomason from Jags, Jalen Waddle from Miami Dolphins. I think he needs to get cut. That dude can't stay healthy like George Kittle. But those are some notable cut candidates for this offseason. But the ones I listed in the beginning are free agents hitting the market. Is there any free agents that kind of stand out to you that are actually hitting the market, not the cut candidates?
Um, yeah, I think, and just for reference, like these are all wide receivers, by the way. So
Yes,
in case
yes.
anyone's kind of following along, um, I think obviously the big one probably would be the biggest name. I think would be Mike Evans.
Mm-hmm.
I think I would say that's got. I don't think he'll get tagged by them. Um, but I don't see where else he goes. Like obviously, I think a lot of like I think the Bills would take him. Like obviously, there's teams that would take him, but I feel like he's got like he kind of feels like a guy that's going to be with the team, like one team for his whole career. Um, I I guess gun to my head, if you said okay, he's not going back, where is he going? Um, I'm gonna say Seattle. I don't know why.
Seattle.
Yeah, I think. like Rashid Shaheed, and obviously that's a guy that you were just talking about. He got traded to them by the Saints. I think he's gonna go. I think if he doesn't go back to Seattle, which I think he should, and obviously the obvious link there is like, oh, he's gonna go to Vegas because that's where the OC is now. Um, I think the Seahawks would be an underrated team. Like I could see you put Mike Evans, JSN, and then let's say they do bring back Shaheed. Like I think that's a nasty three receivers that you got to cover week after week
And Cooper
with
Cup.
the and Cooper Cup as well. So I think, and obviously you could probably just let Shaheed go. So then yeah, Cooper Cup, JSN, and Mike Evans. That's a fucking dangerous three receivers. Um, but and then I think another obvious team would be like the Bills. I think the Bills would be an interesting team for obvious reasons. Um, and then
Yeah,
obviously,
I'm
I
glad you
think
mentioned that. Go ahead, sorry.
I was just gonna say like, I think with most of these receivers, the Chiefs are also going to be a team that's linked to a lot of these guys as well. So those would be my three teams: the Seahawks, the Bills, and the Chiefs.
That's good. I like that. I just don't think Mike Evans would go play in Kansas City. I think if he had to pick a team, it would be the Bills or Seattle. I like those. And
Yeah,
I would even say Los Angeles to replace Kansas City. I just don't see him going there.
yeah,
But anything's possible, right? And
yeah.
for I think Seattle cuts Shaheed, whatever. I don't think they bring him back
Well, he's a
just
free
because I
agent,
just
so I
yeah,
mean, my thing is like he has so much value as a special team player. Like you saw that firsthand in the divisional round. First play of the
yeah,
game, he took that thing 98 yards and shot like and just like told you guys to suck his dick.
yeah,
And I think like a lot of I think so he does have that added value to him as well. Like you're gonna get a lot of special teams play out of him, and obviously him as a slot receiver. Um, yeah, I just think that's a tough. It just depends on. I mean, Seattle's got a lot of like, and it's kind of like I think not a lot of people realize like the MVP of the Super Bowl, he's a free agent, so he's got a ton of leverage, and
yeah,
they're gonna have to figure that out. So that's gonna be a really interesting kind of story to follow along.
yeah.
I think the other receiver that I think he'd be like if I was the Niners, I'd go after Wandale Robinson. He got 1,000 yards this year. He stayed mostly healthy all year. I think he only missed 1 or 2 games. He's fast as shit. And he's probably not going to be as expensive as some of the other guys on the list. That's to me is
Yeah.
right up their alley. They get faster and they still have more money to play with to fill some holes on defense and obviously on the rest of the offense. So, yeah, I'd say obviously Rashid
Uh,
Shaheed and Wandale are the other two names that kind of stuck out to me.
yeah, I was gonna say that I think if I had to put somebody going somewhere, I think Debo actually signs with the Bills. I think that was probably his best likely landing spot because again, I don't think he's gonna sign with the team that he knows isn't gonna win games. I mean, the reason
Yeah,
when he went to fucking Washington is because they had Jaden Daniels, and you saw what he did the year prior. So, I think if he
he
was
from
gonna
Carolina.
who Debo?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
okay,
He
that
played
could
at
also
North
be a team.
Carolina or South
Yeah,
Carolina. He played at South Carolina.
that could be in play as well.
But yeah, I just 100% believe that Debo is gonna go play for a contender, and I think the team that he signs with is probably somebody in the AFC like fucking with the Bills, and I think the Bills could use that like gadget player. You don't need him to be a fast guy, but you need him to like get you those consistent yards, and I think Debo will bring that to the Bills. And I think that honestly would be pretty fucking cool. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think I would love to see something like that. Um, but who knows? I mean, the Bills fucking need to figure their life out.
I
Um,
kind of like
but yeah,
I kind of like Debo to Carolina or to join up with Salah. I obviously like well the Carolina one. I think that is a contender. Proved it this past season. I think like I mentioned, they're like the Patriots, kind of a little early. But they made the playoffs this year and they gave the Rams a really good fight. They just didn't have enough at the end of the game.
yeah,
So I think that kind of fits your narrative in terms of like contenders. And then Salah, I think the Titans would be a contender, not necessarily because they fit the timeline of contending. But I could see them offering him a bag. and giving Cam Ward another weapon because obviously you just mentioned Calvin Ridley's probably going to get cut. So um, obviously, I think that'd be the only reason they might not do it is because they just dealt with a veteran that isn't who he used to be. So yeah,
Yeah. I think the off season, like I said, is probably the more interesting than the regular season as far as teams and transactions and players. Because I mean, you really start to see these players link up with other players, and these media guys just start making up a bunch of wild fucking stories and stuff like that.
yeah,
So I think this offseason is going to be really interesting. I mean, it's already started with Puka Nakua. He was on I think it was Fred Warner on his podcast or Puka Nakua on his podcast or some sort of podcast that they were talking on. I don't know if you've seen it, but he was pretty much just throwing shade at the Rams fans, like, hey, like, Fred Warner was like, yeah, we play again for week 1 in Australia. Um, and Fred Warner was
that's such
like,
a L, by the way. That's such a
it
L,
is,
dude.
it is.
That's a
And
brutal way to start the season.
it's all right. Might as well get it out the way in the week 1, right? But then it's
Crazy.
uphill all the way from that. But yeah, he was kind of just saying like, yeah, it's never a home game for the Rams when they play the 49ers at home. And then he said something else. He said he's been saying a lot of things. He's just kind of been in the spotlight since, he's kind of played
Dude, there was a
football. I
video of
don't fucking
him.
know.
There was a video of him last weekend, fucking hammered. Puka was
Yeah.
fucking hammered, dude. Not a good look.
Yeah. Those
But
are the things I'm saying. Like he's just been in the
telling you,
spotlight
man,
for the wrong reasons.
the bag,
I think
the bag changed him.
yeah, and I think it's gonna turn around and bite him in the ass.
Yep.
Um, but again, we'll see. I mean, he
Well,
is good.
speaking of wild stories, real quick. Speaking of wild stories and your beloved Niners, there's been a story floating around about your guy, Trent Williams. Uh,
Really?
yes, he went to the NFL Honors Awards, like the award show, and he
Yeah.
took his side chick. He took his
Oh,
side chick with him.
I did see that. He took his side chick and then his
Tough.
wife stayed at home.
That's tough. Fucking
Um,
tough.
Again, these players, man, it's like Stephon Diggs in the Super Bowl. He brought his side chick to the Super Bowl and Cardi
Tough.
B broke up with him. That was another thing that I seen in the
Tough.
in media. Again, a lot of
I was
these
just say real quick with the Trent one is like we really don't. I obviously like people know that it wasn't his wife, but we don't know the situation like behind the scenes. Like they could be already like separated. They're just not legally. You know what I mean? Like they're just not legally
yeah,
through
yeah.
that process. So it's kind of like I don't want to give him too much shit. I just thought it was really funny more than anything. Um,
That's funny you said that because I did see that I think yesterday. That's
yeah.
what's funny.
But yeah, then and then when you said the Stephon Diggs, I was like, that's probably why he didn't get a whole lot of balls, bro. Like he fucking was just out
Yeah.
of it, dude. Got dumped by Cardi at the
Yeah.
Super Bowl. That's tough.
Yeah, it's just again, it's going to be really interesting to seeing these guys do what they do in the off season. And then what I like personally, and I feel like this is a Colin Coward take, um, is like it's the small things that you start seeing with players. Like Colin is big into the players wearing their hat backwards and a bunch of other bullshit. For me, I just love seeing teammates hang out with each other in the offseason and continue to build that chemistry is like grinding. Like George Kittle, he lives in Tennessee in the offseason and he brings a lot of the teammates like he plays with, not plays, but he practices with Brock Purdy, throwing the ball to him, running routes and stuff like that. Me personally, I love to see stuff like that because it just shows you like how close the team is and they're still working and grinding. What I
Yeah,
don't like to see is rival players and other teammates like as a Niner fan, I don't like seeing Niner players hang out with um rival teams and talking like in podcasts like, hey man, like if we linked up, shit would be cool, or they just say certain things like that. And the
yeah,
reason I don't like that is because it just brings negative media to the team, and it starts making storylines like, yo, like Fred Warner wants to leave the 49ers because they can't win, or stuff like that. It's not like I believe it. It's just more annoying because now my timeline and all that stuff, it just starts flooding with shit like this. And for a reason like that, I don't like stuff like that.
I think
Um,
unfortunately that's I think unfortunate, and I say unfortunately because it actually does carry over to the game. Um, and I think unfortunately that's just the era we're in at the moment. And the reason why I say that is like for those of you that don't know, I watch a podcast almost every day. Coach JB, shout out, with Big Smitty. But like he talks about it all the time. He talks about the jersey swap era, and he talks about how like if you look at old footage of like a Super Bowl, for example, you look at old footage, the losing team walks off the field. Like you don't see those fuckers anywhere. And nowadays, like at the end of a Super Bowl, just this past weekend, like you see Patriots players like swapping jerseys with Seahawk players, and they're like smiling, and it's like, oh, like congrats, and it's like you just never used to see that before. Um, and it kind of like I don't want to say it waters down the game, but it just kind of makes the game soft in general. I feel like there's no like
well,
I don't
it's
know
kind of
like
like the fucking when you get selected to play All Pro and play in the fucking the game they have every year, like all the people that got
that's
voted to go play.
I think
It's
it's
like
kind of
that.
like it's a joke. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
a
no,
joke. It's what it is, right? And it's
and
like
I 100% agree with you on everything you're saying. I think
um
shit like that is um
and like I mean, look at a couple years ago. Like, and obviously Micah still has his podcast, but like he had when he was with the Cowboys, he had Darius Slay, who at the time was a Eagles cornerback, and they were chopping it up like it's all good. And I think the next week they played each other. In 2 weeks they played each other. Like, I think that's fucking crazy. Like, I like for Rigo and I, like in our hometown, like when we were playing football, there's two high schools here, and like we weren't chopping it up with like even if we knew people on the other team, like we weren't fucking chopping it up. Like, oh, bro, I can't wait to play you, bro, and swapping and having fucking pictures after the game. Nah, I was like, fuck these guys till after next week, and then we can figure it out. Um,
yeah.
and we just don't have that anymore. It's kind of like and like I said, I think it does carry into the game because like it just I don't know, like it just makes it soft, like is what it kind of feels like it's just not like it doesn't mean anything to these guys. And I think like if you ask most Americans like, hey, like would you want to be in the NFL? I think all of us would be like, yeah, like 1,000%. Um, and obviously like a lot of us don't have the God given ability, or we don't have the
Yeah.
like we don't have the like literal physical ability in the sense like we can't stay healthy to do it or whatever it might be. And like I feel like a lot of these guys just take it for granted, like fuck it, like I'm gonna make millions of dollars and set up my family forever, and you guys can go fuck yourselves, and it's just kind of like a slap in everyone's face, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I agree, man. Definitely
But
a lot. I
shout out
think
Trent Williams.
yeah, yeah, I don't know about I mean, I'm not gonna comment, but I think there's some players though, I will say that are like still with that old school stuff, like fuck all that bullshit. Like we ain't friends. Like it's fuck you when I see you every time, you know? And I think
Yeah,
yeah, again, I don't know. I was gonna say Fred Warner, but Fred Warner was just on a podcast with Puka Nakua and like they're best
Max
friends and shit
Crosby
like
is
that.
probably the guy I would like instantly think of. That's a guy that like I mean take an example of what just happened the last 2 weeks when he got pissed off. Like the Raiders had no like the Raiders were ineligible for the playoffs. He still wanted to play. They were fucking I think they're 3 and whatever they were, three
Oh
and
yeah.
13 or 3 and 12, and
That's
this
why
guy
Pete Carroll
still
got
like
fired.
with a torn meniscus, and this guy still wanted to fucking play. Like,
Yeah.
there's not a whole lot of guys out there that I think would be willing to do that at
Hmm.
especially at a position like that. Like, quarterback is a different to me. Quarterback's a different story because there's so many rules to protect them that like they can play hurt and it's not a big deal. But like a guy like that,
Yeah.
where like you're getting punished every single play that you're on the field, and you're on a shit team, and that has no like there's no playoff hopes, there's no nothing, and you're still willing to play, says a lot about you.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's not a whole lot of guys like that in the NFL.
Yeah, man. I agree. Like I said. Besides that, so I wanted to hit on this earlier. I just forgot, but I just remembered. Um, for the Seattle Seahawk fans that are or players, right? I would say just specifically players that are like, hey, we're gonna run it back to back, right? Like win two Super Bowls. Um, I 100% believe that they do not make it back-to-back Super Bowls. I don't even think they make it to the Super Bowl. And it's not even the fact that like um that I hate them or whatever. Like I'm being non-biased on this. I just don't think that they're gonna go back to the Super Bowl because of Sam Darnold. Um, and I say that just because okay, hold on. Before I get on like on a crazy tangent, right? I'll say this. Do I say I'm gonna say the Seattle's defense is just gonna get better. And if not, they're
Yep.
gonna be just as good as they were last year. There's no doubt about that. And I think they're gonna repeat their defense of uh, dominance. In regards of the offense is what I'm more worried about. And that's why I believe that the Seattle Seahawks are not going to make it. I said that they get close to the playoffs, maybe be in the playoffs, honestly, but I don't think they win an NFC championship game, let alone go to the Super Bowl. And I'll say that because of Sam Darnold. I think Sam Darnold lost an offensive coordinator that played to his skills. And I say that because when Sam Darnold's in the 49ers kind of him and Brock Purdy were kind of the same skill set as far as like what they knew what they had. And I think when Clint Kubiak went to Seattle, right? Like again, he was with Sam Darnold and Sam Darnold was with him. They played to his skills as an offensive coordinator. Um, and I think that's the biggest thing. Again, like when you lose your offensive coordinator and you get a whole new guy with a whole different system and an agenda, there's some OCs that are like, hey, you're gonna play to my skill set. I'm not gonna play to your skill set. And I think that's gonna be a big thing and a big challenge for Sam Darnold moving forward next year into the season. People are gonna be like, yeah, I know, whoop de woo, he was with the Vikings or whatever. And stuff like that. But there's a reason why they got bounced in the first playoff game, and stuff like that. So it's gonna be really interesting. So any Seattle fans thinking that they're gonna win two Super Bowls in a row, um, sorry, that's not gonna happen. Just better teams every year. Um, the Rams are just getting better. Um, hopefully my Niners can get healthy. The Cardinals are gonna start coming back up eventually, hopefully. Um, and again, there's just better teams every year that are consistently get better and or you get worse. But yeah, we'll see. So that's my little spiel I have about that team and the Patriots. I don't even think they make it to the playoffs next year. I'm not gonna hold you. But
I'm good with
yeah.
that.
Yeah, I know you are. Yeah, man. But like, all right, so another thing, right? I would say it's gonna come to the time of the year is teams that I want to see win. And a team I really genuinely want to see win, and it's no fucking troll because again, I said it in the beginning of the last season.
Let's go.
The league is so much better when this team is winning fucking games because people are scared. They're going to the box office, they're going to Vegas, they're doing anything they can to prevent this team from fucking winning ball games and cheat them out in any way they fucking can. And that is the Las Vegas fucking Raiders, baby. Them
Like that.
boys need to win. The Clint Kubiak as their new OC hopefully changes that whole culture around. Starts bringing players, get some drafts. I really just really hope that this team can fucking win ball games. Whoop Kansas City, sweep them, sweep the Broncos, sweep who else do you guys got? Oh, the Chargers. Come on, man. I'm really rooting for the fucking Raiders, man. I fucking
Man,
am.
that means another
Brock
4 and
Bowers,
13 year.
Brock Bowers, Aston
Just remember,
Genty.
I want everybody to remember this podcast. When the Raiders go 4 and 13 next year, this is the reason why. It's because this fucking guy said what he
Mark
just
my
said.
words. So what? It's 16 games, right? 16 games.
17.
17. Damn. So
Yeah,
my math might be. I think, okay, I'll just say this. The Raiders, they win 12 games, 12, 13 games next year.
that'd be crazy. That'd be
I fuck.
crazy.
Yo, I'm glad I'm saying it on the podcast because if I'm wrong, obviously, people are just gonna be like, hey, it's the
This would be
fucking Raiders.
great. This would be
But
fucking
if
great
I'm
if you're wrong.
fucking right about this and as confident as I am, but also I'm saying this
Then you're a
prior
closet. Then
draft.
you're a closet. It's a win-win for me because if you're wrong, then I get to just replay this over and over and over again. If you're right, then I get to say you're a closet Raider fan. So it works out for me either way. I'm good with it either way.
Nah. Hey,
And
people will
obviously,
say
if you're
whatever the
right,
fuck they want.
I was gonna say even if you're right, and if you are right, then obviously like we're gonna be in the hunt for the playoffs, and obviously that's a great feeling to have too. Um,
But I'm also saying
I'll
this
be
prior draft. Prior draft. So that's a big
this is
thing too.
prior to everything.
That's
This is prior to the free agency, everything. All we know is the head coach and the DC. We just found out today. That's all we know. We don't know anything else about this team.
oh, who's your
Um,
DC? I didn't see that. Who's your DC?
so we basically just promoted the defensive line coach, and I made a tweet about this. I don't remember what I said verbatim. Um,
I'll pull it up.
we just promoted our defensive line coach, Rob Leonard. He's actually pretty, like, he's got a pretty good background on him. He coached actually with Mike McDonald on the Ravens for 4 or 5 years, or no, 1 year I think, and I think he was with the Giants for a couple years, and then there's another team I'm missing. He went to somewhere else. I think the Vikings with no the Dolphins. I think he was with the Dolphins, and then he came to us. And he's actually, like, in his position group, he's actually got a lot of production out of the guys. Like, there's a ton of guys this past year that are no name guys or really late draft picks, and he's done a good job
Yeah.
getting production out of them. But as I said in my tweet, and Rigo could read it if he pulled it up, but
Oh,
this is a
I did pull it up. I was
total,
waiting for you.
total,
Do you want me to do
total.
you want me to say what you said? Do you want me to say
Yeah,
what you
this.
said?
Well, let me say this real quick. This is a total Max Crosby move to keep him. But go ahead, read the tweet.
So this is what Hearn
Nothing
said.
crazy. It's nothing crazy, by the way.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
want to set. I don't want everyone to be like, "Oh shit!" Like it's nothing that crazy. Go ahead.
Nah, so he said, I like the idea of Rob Leonard as a Raiders DC, but to me, this is a Max Crosby safe move. Not guaranteed he stays, but definitely helps the cause. Also gives Kubiak a name to blame if the Raiders completely collapse next season. And I think
For
that's
sure,
kind of like a trend. It's just a trend
it's
that
facts.
if
It's facts.
hey,
I
if
think
you're fucking head coach, yeah,
I think the reason why I like the move, and like I just mentioned, like it's not like this guy didn't. It's some fucking random guy like, "Oh, let's just do it." No, I think the guy did deserve the promotion. He was up for the job last year. And basically he didn't get it because the DC that we had the last 2 years was like, I'll stay. Um, so he was overdue for the promotion. So it's nothing against him personally. I just think the Raiders were so late in the process because they just hired their head coach. Everyone else has had their head coach for at least 2-3 weeks. Fucking Robert Sala's got half his staff. They're all bald, by the way, but he's got his whole staff
I did
built
see
up.
that.
Like, that's pretty sick. But like he has his whole staff done. And I think a lot of the Pittsburgh Steelers too, their whole staff's done. Like a lot of these teams already hired their head coach. They have their full staffs built up. And so the Raiders are kind of like, they're the last team. So they're gonna be behind. They're not gonna have as much access to a lot of these names. And like you look at there's a bunch of assistants that the Raiders have been trying to interview and they're like, nah, I'm gonna go back to my old team. Um, so I think that also kind of played into it as well. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's a man. If the Raiders are just, I think to me, like for me personally, if the Raiders are just average next year, I'd be pretty happy. I'm not looking for them to be a playoff team next year. If
Yeah,
the offseason goes the way I think it's gonna go, I'm not looking for them to be a playoff team next year.
I am.
Just be respectable. Like I just want to be a team that they go, fuck, we can't. This isn't an easy one this week, boys. Like we're in for it. Even if we lose, it's all good. I
It's
think
a
if you're in that
dogfight.
spot, I think if you're in that spot in the NFL, you're on your way to becoming a good team. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, so shout out to Rigo for that. Um, man, I wish I could say the same for the Niners, but they're always winning every year, so I don't get to say the same thing.
Yeah.
But um,
Um, yeah, man. Um, again, we're trying to go back to doing 2 pods a week. But unfortunately, due to schedules and stuff like that, um, it's been a little harder than usual, but we are trying to get back to doing 2 pods a day. But because the lack of football that's going to be happening, I'm sure we don't really need
it'll
to.
probably just be. I was gonna say it'll honestly probably be one. And what we'll probably end up doing is like, I'll honestly if something crazy happens, I'll probably just do like a solo emergency pod, and then if obviously Rigo's available, then we'll both be on. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think that's probably going to be our best bet. Is we'll probably just do the 1 hour long episode, and then if anything pops off or like anything super crazy goes off, um, I'll do an emergency one, or him and I will link up and we'll do something and we'll upload that ASAP. But
Yeah, man.
yeah,
I don't
man, what
have
a I
or
just
go
want to
ahead,
say
my
real
bad.
quick, like what an NFL season, man. Like we started the pod like a month maybe or a couple weeks before the season started, and look at us
Yeah.
now. We went through whole playoffs, whole regular season, Super Bowl. Um, what a journey! And now we get to,
Yeah, man.
like Rigo said, to start the pod. Some would argue the best part of the NFL season is the off season, because there's so many storylines and stories that you end up hearing because guys leave, or guys retire, or whatever it might be. Or guys get on podcasts, like they just start fucking, they're off the yak and they just start talking. So this is going to be probably, I think this is going to be one of the most exciting off seasons we've had in a while, especially considering there's a couple teams that before last season were playoff teams, like the fucking Chiefs, the Bucks. Like it's a bunch of teams that didn't make the playoffs this season, that got to figure it out because, I mean, like for the Chiefs, for example, they're paying a guy half a trillion dollars, right? Half of a trillion. Yeah, so at least
Really?
500 bills to play QB. So they got to figure that out ASAP, Rocky. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, looking forward to it.
Yeah, man. Do you besides that, do you have any last minute things that you want to say before we get off here?
Obviously, it's the best time of year. Um, like I said, we got baseball around the corner. Shout out to the swinging A's, baby. Uh, Unfortunate they're not at the Coliseum anymore, but that's okay. Because when they go to Vegas, you bet your ass I'll be there at least once, maybe twice, maybe 3 times. Who knows? But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing the A's. Um, we won't talk, probably won't talk a whole lot of baseball in here just because it's only one person that really knows what's going on at most times. So, in terms of like who's who, but yeah, I'm really looking forward to the A's this year. Like offensively, they're stacked, they're young, um, and that means a lot of runs, which usually means a lot of wins. But hopefully, we can figure it out on the defensive side. So, looking forward to that.
Yeah. 100%.
But yeah, that's pretty
All
much
right,
it.
man. Hey, I hope you have a good rest of your weekend. I know I'm gonna try
Yeah,
to enjoy mine with my nieces throwing snowballs at them. But again, I just want to give a big shout out to everybody that listens to the 44 pod and shows us
let's
love,
go.
offline or online. Again, we're here for you guys. So if you guys ever have anything you want to say, hey, just DM us in our social medias, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, or whatever. And we'll read them on here whenever if you guys
Oh
ever have
yeah,
anything to say. Other than that, I'm your host, Mr. Hollywood himself, and that's my
yeah.
co-host, Mr. Hernia, and that's
Let's
us fucking
go.
signing off, baby. Peace out, everybody.
Oh, oh.